Hi, friends. My name's host Eric. This is my beloved Rachel Apollosa, Daisy of my heart, Rose of my eye, Amethyst crystal of my spleen.
Thank you.
You're welcome. First, let me tell you a little secret, okay? When you're watching, like, say, Frank James or some other YouTuber, and he's like, so please let me know in the comments what your thoughts are about this. He doesn't actually care. Just to be absolutely clear about that. He understands that it's wise to pursue engagement with the audience so that they will engage more, and it's wise on his end to engage back. And he might like some of the activity, but fundamentally, it's constructed his interest in your shit.
Yeah.
In this instance, I am genuinely interested in finding out people's like-dislike protocol or rule of thumb or whatever it is, how it is that you like or dislike videos on YouTube. Forget about mine. If you have something to say like I like and dislike yours on a little different level or something, I'd be interested in hearing that, of course. But in general, how I just replied to your comment. 0. There are 0 eggs in the house right now. My dad has no eggs. Rachel and I never get eggs.
Nah.
I know, mind blown, right? So anyway, the first non-mod sounds like a good name for an anime.
The first non-mod. Honestly, you should take some glory in that.
It's like in a world in which everybody is always mod style 1980 whatever, where they're riding Vespa scooters and have on those jackets with like the blue thing on it and the white, mostly white jacket, and then like the little helmet, or when they're riding their Vespas, mods, yes. Right? Everybody's mods. And then the anime hero is the first non-mod. And he comes out and he's just like, you know what? I'm not really into this fashion. Maybe he starts to go increasingly more dressing like a business executive in a suit with a tie and all that kind of stuff. And by the end of the anime, he's gone full circle, and now he's back to dressing like he's decided finally in the end he wants to be a mod, and everybody else has been loosened up by his anti-mod stance. Anyway, I am not really interested in talking about that. I actually want to hear from you people here, whoever you are, about how it is that you decide to like or dislike a video, or how often you do. So I'll tell you, my example is I rarely do either. I almost never, never basically dislike a video. If I dislike a video, I'm not watching it long enough to engage with it at all. So I almost always, if I'm going to push like at all, I'm going to push it because I both particularly like a video and for whatever reason think to push the thumbs up. Usually I just don't think about it. I just like, it never even occurs to me. It doesn't matter. Like, there's probably videos on our playlist that we've listened to as music tracks shit tons of times. They're unliked.
I like a lot of stuff.
Oh, you like a lot of stuff?
I like a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so
I like to give but the thing is, though, if I genuinely like the video, I'm giving you a thumbs up for sure.
So you're an active encourager.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, cool. So it's like I forget to be an active encourager at all, basically. And I just don't use the thumbs very often. I can tell you as a creator, though, obviously that must be FI polar or FE third, because even though both. I know that I appreciate thumbs a lot, and that I determine which of my videos are better by thumb ratio, and I think YouTube has something to do with that as well. It's also, of course, the case that that's so because like I bet Winston's mom or Rachel probably likes every single one of my videos that gets
I
published.
try
right?
to.
Thank you, darling.
You're welcome.
I bet you Rachel likes more of my videos than I do. I don't even remember to necessarily like all my own videos, or some, a lot of times I don't remember. I don't think it's worthy of it. Maybe sometimes. Sometimes I like a video that I think is underliked that I haven't liked yet because of my own, that I go, this one should be liked more. So I'll give it a like.
I like that. That's definitely Effie figured.
Well, the other thing is like this video I just published of Northern Data Stream, I sort of had buyer's regret because I have buyer's regret a little bit because a couple people quickly liked it, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna push it again to make an extra big pile with a small amount of views." What I really should have done is waited and put it in later so that it made the number bigger when I wanted it to. But I'm not as much about that stuff anymore. Nevertheless, that's my liking habits. I'm not interested in my own liking habits. I know them. Can you please tell me yours? So Legends Fall says, 1, valuable info, 2, hilarity, 3, very agreeable to me on an important topic. Default is not to react either way, but if something stands out enough, I will offer thumbs feedback. I'm kind of like that too, I guess. That's a good way of putting it. You were much clearer about it than I was. I give thumbs up when I receive more than I expect. That's an interesting metric to use. I like to hear. That's an interesting one. That
is an interesting one.
Kind of giving an extra big tip to a quality server. Yeah. Okay. So it's like if a video provides the level of entertainment you expect, it's just doing its job. But if you're really wowed by it, you go, wow, I'll like you then. Okay, I got you.
If I get like a good tarot reader, like if I wasn't with you, I would definitely be donating too. I like to. I'm a giver.
You are. Which MBTI can read your mind and catch a lie on the spot? I think those are two different things. I actually think it may be, even though INFJ is the one that's known to read people who are lying, INFJ is very good at reading people who are aware that they're lying and aren't well habituated to it necessarily. So if lying is a deviation for you from your norm, then INFJ is going to pick up on that right away.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're habitually a liar, you may have an INFJ fooled for a while until they actually catch you in one.
These facts.
In contrast, I think it's I think ENTPs are a little bit less good at the first one than INFJs probably, but good at the first one too, frankly. And I think a lot better at the second one. So like I feel very confident that I like whenever I encounter a bullshitter in any way, shape, or form, that I'm ahead of it, at least speculatively. Like conditionally, I'm aware of these possibilities and hedging my my openness accordingly.
Yeah, you do. Here, if I'm in a bad spot, I tend to be more gullible. That's a fact.
Okay,
so why?
Leaf Trimmer says that he dislikes vids for like that disagree with him politically or something, or that he sees as spreading disinformation or whatever.
Okay.
So it's a sort of an activist thumb for you. All right, that's interesting as well. Ralph Vicky, today we're talking. Actually, I would like to hear everybody's explanation on how it is they like or dislike videos. What goes through their mind?
So I'm a thumbs up liker if I really like the content in the video and I felt like I got something out of it. I am a what do you call it? I donate when I get like a reading from someone, or if I like really like am enjoying the channel. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna that's nice. And then
I'm definitely not the only YouTuber that Rachel has hired to do things. Like she hires astrologers or tarot people to give her readings periodically. So I and I think that's cool. It's like, it helps me understand that the population of people who find that, it's like there's a lot of things in life you can spend money on that other people might find dumb, like like an item in a game or something.
Yeah.
But
if it makes you happy.
Yeah, it's like I buy stuff that people might think is dumb too. So
yeah,
it's like it's there's this. What I'm getting at is basically this. I'm sorry to have interrupted your thing. I don't know why I did that. But
I'll get back to it.
All right, do keep it in mind. I'll finish what I'm going to say real quick. Is that YouTube? What was I just talking about?
YouTube. One thing that you noticed, YouTube.
Well, right before that?
Me.
What were you talking about?
How I will donate to different channels.
Go ahead.
Okay, so but what I will do. Okay, so I used to be into a lot of the law of attraction videos and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started to not like some of the content that was being put in there. I thought it was a little bit too generalized and starting to get gimmicky. So instead of disliking the videos, I would say do not recommend. So I'm a do not recommender.
Oh, you tell YouTube not to recommend it to you.
Mm-hmm. I do that.
I've only done that once.
Wow.
I can remember it was the video of I'm 24 years old and have no friends. Remember when you're talking about that video?
I don't know. No.
Okay, or 21 years old or whatever. I don't know. There's a video of like a sad-faced woman, and that's like the title of it. So that one, it kept showing, like it kept encouraging me to watch this video.
Oh yes.
Over and over and over again. And finally I said, I am so not gonna watch that video. I'm so tired of looking at it, and even thinking about the title makes me sad. So I don't want to see that video. That's the only time I've used stop showing me this or don't recommend, please.
Yeah, don't recommend.
You've seen that video? Is it good? Did you like it? I never watched it. I just said don't recommend without ever seeing anything about it at all. See, Rachel's saying she encounters something that she doesn't like and then says about that stuff, don't recommend it anymore.
Yeah, that's
right?
Because it affects me, you know.
Whereas for me, I didn't want to see it I didn't want to see that thumb. That's why I pushed don't recommend. I'm tired of seeing this. That really
makes sense too.
I use the not interested a ton and I've blocked most of the MSM channels. I don't come to YouTube for them.
What is MSM?
Mainstream media.
Oh, mainstream. Yeah.
It's the only thing I've ever said. I haven't blocked any channel or anything or not interested except for that one thing, that one video I can remember.
Legends Fall, I had the same kind of video, and I wasn't famous for it.
That just sounds super depressing though, right? Like,
I actually never did that. That does sound super depressing.
No, I'm talking about Legends Fall.
Yeah. It does. That some girl being super honest about how she feels like a failure in life. Yeah, that is super depressing.
Was it depressing, Legends Fall?
No, YouTube never would promote me. I just did videos because I wanted to. I had a friend. I always say like it's like these people are dead, but they're alive. My friend Jen. She and I always were like, we're gonna do YouTube. We're gonna do YouTube, and then our friendship failed. And we fell out of connection. And I was like, you know what? I still want to do YouTube. So I would make random videos about like stuff that happened in my life or how I was feeling at the moment. I had a video of me brushing my teeth at one point. Like I really did take it seriously. So YouTube would definitely not recommend me.
You know, I was just thinking I'd like to see some sort of show called Marshall McLuhan's Stewing and Chewing. Yeah, if you're not familiar with Marshall McLuhan, he's the guy who said the medium is the message. He's sort of a social philosopher from the 1950s who's pretty famous. And I think that would be a good title if he were still alive. If you were going to make a YouTube channel that was about cooking and food, you should call it Marshall McLuhan's Stewing and Chewing.
I like that. So Grogu says most of YouTube's stuff I wouldn't watch. I just ignore it. I only downvote if the video really sucks. So what comprises something that really sucks? I actually, it's interesting. I have like on my channel, I have a few videos of a trip that I took to New York City, and I actually have some downvotes on the stuff, and I'm like, okay, if you didn't like it, you didn't like it.
I wonder if you could look on YouTube and see which videos you've disliked. I'm curious to which videos I've disliked,
You can only see the ones I don't know. You probably I don't know. But Grogu says if I am looking for help with coding and they don't actually solve the problem, they say they will, for example, or if it's racist, etc., or something. Okay, I get you. I feel you.
Okay, thank you for mentioning the how-to videos. That's one thing I'll like for sure. If I get help that helps me successfully on a how-to video, I will like it. Because maybe that's a TE thing. Maybe you like shit that affirms on your sixth law function. That prompts people to like just a random extrapolated hypothesis. I've got no reason to believe that except my own experience. But
hi, Octavio Silva. Turn Up the Music says there is a list of dislike. Do you know where you can find it? Turn Up the Music. Fomo Hot says, I am in the process of disliking every single video Eric has made, and it's going to take some time.
Thanks, Fomo Hot. I remember somebody one time emailed me in an attempt to, I guess Becky had enlisted the person, I guess, to help her or something. An attempt to exert leverage, threatened to dislike every video. I was like, okay, go ahead. And he basically offered, if you want to avoid this, you can meow, 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 meow.
I remember.
I was like, oh, you go right ahead. And then he ended up writing back going, the end of the interaction was, actually, I've decided I like you a lot, and good luck with your shit. And it was kind of a weird thing. So it was nice. I like every TWFP stream I attend and any videos I want to watch later so that the YT algorithm will put them back on my homepage. That's a very SI reason, Think about our reasons for liking things. What I said is I immediately, when somebody mentioned it, was like, oh yeah, I do that. I like it when I'm seeking an answer or a problem of some sort, like, how do I fix them? Yeah.
I can't even lie when the person that I'm watching is saying if you like, thumbs up, share, subscribe, it makes me want a thumbs up. It's like, oh yeah, I forget, because
that would say to me, you might think that's FE. To me, that sounds like appealing to her FI, right? I'm telling you what I want so that you can put yourself in my shoes and like the video, which will make me happy, you know?
Yeah, that is FI. I like to throw out love around YouTube. Can't lie.
So I think that people who go like, I really appreciate likes a lot. You know, thanks so much because you like it.
Yeah.
Are appealing to people with FE in the tool function, maybe. If this hypothesis, remember, it's a randomly extrapolated hypothesis.
Well,
This hypothesis that the 6 slot thing motivates you to act.
Yeah, I think
like,
so.
At least.
I think you're right, because with your music, you said like likes and comments appreciated. So I did both, and I was happy to.
6 slot again. Then my FI says quit begging. So your 6 slot would be TI. So I guess do you like things if they're especially correct, maybe, or especially logically defensible?
That sounds like an INTJ.
If something stands out as especially logically defensible, then do you note that you're more likely to go out of your way to like that thing? So it's funny, Octavia Silva. You could argue that what your reasoning is either 4 or 6, right? Like, I see. Okay, so indefensible things are likely to get a dislike. So I mean, I think that's functionally the same thing. You hate shilling. So what I would say is, like, what do you think about? I think that Frank James's shilling is especially well done. Like his thing at the end where he goes, if you'd like to buy me a cup of coffee, I got a thing right here.
Yep.
You know, like that's, if you're gonna, but does that still bother you, Scott Steiner? I mean, I don't shill because I just 3rd slot FE maybe, or just it's also even like, I don't know. It's just not.
It isn't your style.
It makes me feel icky or something. I don't know.
I don't really like to either. Like, I think if I had a tarot channel or something like that, I would be like, like if you want to, but don't feel pressured. Like, like where is that going to get me? People are going to be like, does she want me to like the video or not?
Well, I guess it shows you my FI because the only things that I tend to put likes and comments are appreciated on is my music uploads, because I'm just basically saying I want this to be more successful than it deserves to be. Yeah. Even if it's not deserved to be, even if it only deserves to be this successful, I'd like to be a little more successful than that. So please help me get there wherever it is. But I think it's a brilliant idea. I just need to find somebody who wants to embrace this idea, who's got a cute little kid, really. A TikTok video of this particular, either a 10-second chunk or a 20-second chunk of I'm rich, I'm the best, I'm the greatest.
I think that's such a positive video. People would love that.
So it's like if we could find somebody who does TikTok, who has a little kid, a cute little kid, that would be, I think it would work. But the other thing is I have to know how to make whisper shout. I have to know how to make that audio available on TikTok, I guess. Which is what Delilah was telling me. I talked to her about it earlier today.
She was saying that we can do it.
But you have to like record the audio from your phone or something. Okay, so
the kid would have to say, or the kid would mime as it was playing on the TV, like that. Like the kid could mime while it was playing on the TV and it's in the background, but you can't.
But if you really want this to be, optimized so that somebody who uses TikTok might use it, you got to get your music included in TikTok thing, I guess. So
Yeah,
I don't know exactly how to do that. But I really think that, because I don't know, Rachel has introduced me to something I never even considered watching before. And I don't know if this is exemplary of SE 8 slot maybe, but which is Vines, those little teeny short videos of like 7 to 10 seconds long.
They
or whatever.
make me so happy.
The compilations of them on YouTube are pretty entertaining. I never thank you, turn up the music. I never thought there would be any purpose in watching so short of a video before on Vine. I know Vine's dead, but I'm making a point here. So that's what prompted me to think this loop here would be good for TikTok. And I know Delilah does TikTok. Rachel occasionally shows me her things on her phone.
Delilah's really good at TikTok, actually. R.I.P. Vine indeed. Oh my gosh. I was thinking about my old Vine. My old Vine, I had a 7-second video of my baby cousin Carly doing fart noises into the karaoke machine. That was my first Vine ever.
Okay, only Alice. I want to ask you a question. Do you self-identify as either an FE? As either an ISFJ or an INFJ? That would seem to me, again, somebody who's got FE tool, possibly, or FI6.
I relate to that. It's only Alice. I feel at least the least I can do is like the vid. I actually have to like it though. Like if I don't, then I just don't like it. I don't like it at all.
If somebody makes a shortish, mediocre video that manages to keep my attention all the way through to the end of it, and then goes, please like, subscribe, and comment and share, please. I'll say, please make a better video next time. And fucking close the tab, you know? I won't dislike it.
Yeah, right.
I won't like it.
Yeah.
I won't comment or share. I'll just be like, that's what I'll say. You know, if in fact I do like it a lot, it's possible it might remind me that, oh, since I like it so much, I should engage with it somewhat. But if I really like it a lot, I will always comment on it. And I still might forget to like it even. So, but I'll probably like it too. But something that I really like, I'll comment on it, and I'll say, wow, this is spectacular. You need to guilt trip people into liking your video.
And the cat lives.
That's not guilt tripping. That's extorting them, emotionally extorting them. You can never dislike a video. If you don't like it, you just don't watch.
That sounds very similar to me.
How dare someone ask me to drag my mouse and click? Well, you got it both ways, Leaf Trimmer. Will you stop playing test the YouTube algorithm? Because it's like, whose channel is all this shit getting associated with, right? The people who are constantly walking the edges of the YouTube algorithm. The YouTube's going to think I'm some sort of, radical or something.
I know, and you're not.
I'm not. I'm totally not a radical.
I'm more radical.
I'm only radical in the 1980s sense.
Yeah, right. Radical dude.
I'm rad, but I'm not radical. Okay. I'm a non-radical radical.
Radical Rachel was like my name when we were in college, when we were like, had to do, what are those called? Icebreakers? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they were like, choose a verb that starts with the same letter as your first name. I was like, oh, I hate these things.
Choose a verb that starts with the first letter of your first name.
Or adjective. Yeah, adjective. Describing
an adjective that starts with the first letter of your first name.
Yeah, so it said radical.
Oh, for you it was radical?
Yeah, radical Rachel.
Effervescent.
Effervescent Eric. That's how, and then everyone in the circle would have to say your name for us. So every time we got around, we'd have to say Effervescent Eric.
Desert INTH, you have to be such a rebel. This is what happens when you tell people not to say something.
I know.
It's like It's just Streisand effect.
Oh my god.
I remember one time I told people to stop calling Spacey. What were they calling him? Shirley or something. Yeah. I'm calling him by a girl's name, and I told
they did call him
to stop calling him that, and then everybody just started just nothing but calling him that. Of course. I was like, okay, I deserve that. I deserve that. Sorry, Spacey. I guess I should say I deserve that, but you got it instead. So congratulations. You get to incur the harms of my bad choice there. Any 2A or political commentary video that isn't a partnered nor an authoritative source gets demoted.
Demoted?
What's 2A? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know what 2A is either, actually. So, damn, I had something about Bill Gates that I...
Here, because the 2A is the second ass speech and policy debate. that's what I think of the 2A, you know. I don't know. No, we're not still in touch. Yeah. I'd like to call him again.
But see, that's the thing, too. Well, I guess he's SE Polar. So
yeah, he's SE Polar, so I'm going to have to keep it in touch.
Yeah.
I suspect it's a tough FE position for him, you know.
What is?
Well, sort of reconnecting with me because the demotes wrong think. Well, I mean, depending on how she defines that, I might not necessarily oppose it. I mean, I would love if YouTube could actually critique the quality of the argumentation being made by the speaker in a meaningful way. I'd be at the fucking top of the charts. It's just there is meaningfully wrong think, okay? It's called every ESFP's political channel. Now, I'm not saying that it's necessarily a good idea to suppress stuff that you don't like, okay? But there is a huge difference between suppressing stuff that fails to live up to a basic standard of civil discourse, and trying to keep it out of the civil discourse section. In other words, if you're going to have on your platform representatives of individuals who are engaged in discourse about politics and stuff, it makes sense, and we would all agree with this rule, if it were a public space, to keep out the people who are drunk and just want to yell and prevent everybody from actually having conversations, right?
Yeah.
So if it were a physical space, we'd all agree with that. Okay, well, in that regard, Scott Steiner, I'm not saying how it's implemented is acceptable or a good thing. I don't know. I never did make money off these t-shirts. I lost money off these t-shirts. I had paid to have them made, and I sold some of them, but I'm confident I at least lost some money. But mostly, I gave them away.
Mostly, yeah. I have one and two. I have two.
And she's entitled to wear anything at any time, of course. So, you know, and if she feels like putting on this one, she can pretend to be a band member.
I love it. Yeah, that's like one of my favorite ones to wear.
Set up a red bubble. What's a red bubble?
Is it nothing like Discord? I really hope it's not.
I don't know what a red bubble is.
You know, it seems like
the thing is, here's the thing. If YouTube's algorithm is going to not steer itself off of a cliff, it's going to have to be effective at distinguishing between these things eventually. Oh, yeah, I don't want to do that. I like the way I did it myself. I like getting a screen printer and going and saying, these are my t-shirts. I bought them myself. It's a lot cheaper getting them made that way. It's like, I don't like the idea of me doing nothing and selling $30 t-shirts that I make $10 off of, and the random person who does all the things make $10 off of.
I have a question though, Octavia Silva. Can you like, if there's like pictures from like movies, can you make stickers from them? Because like, I wanna. My favorite movie is Whisper of the Heart, and I can't find any stickers on Amazon. But I can like, if I can make my own, that's something that I would definitely do. Or is it just to promote things?
Okay. Oh, I see. Genexio, you're defending against the accusation that you're an ESFP. I gotta say, when Horst Bumber said that, despite the fact that Horst Bumber is somebody to whom I tend to afford a lot of credibility in general, I just thought to myself, I have no experiences consistent with that. It's like, if anybody's going to make me question my typing to somebody, potentially, it's probably Horst Bumber. But I've also seen Horst Bumber be spectacularly wrong on a couple of occasions about things with the same amount of certainty and conviction that he is when he's right. So that was a bit of a surprising thing to me, and it's been I have been thinking about it, Genix. So I've been thinking about whether I should I pull back at all on my confidence that he's an ISTP. He's always seemed like an ISTP to me. Anyway, yeah, I will. Let's say Rain, let me explain the title. The title is basically, can you please tell me when and why you like or dislike a video on YouTube? I'm just curious to understand everybody's thought processes. I'd actually rather watch the video. And because this is the thing. I'm very confident that I can tell apart an ESFP faking to be a TI type from an actual TI type. Extraordinarily confident. We're just based on what they're presenting as arguments and stuff, based just on their argumentation. He's saying to me right here, I made an argumentation video. You tell me what kind of argumentation it is. That's a much more appealing notion to me, actually, than typing him or something, because I type people for money all the time, and not all the time. I wish I typed them more often, but it's like it's old news for me, and I get bored with that process. Why did they take your comment down? You just said the truth. Apparently, well, Scott Steiner, I think it's a little reductive. Okay. I like a vid whenever I think, wow, I really like that video. I don't ever dislike a vid. Okay. So that's what makes you say, wow, I really like that video. Like, what is it? I rarely dislike them. Very, very rarely. That's why I was just saying I wonder if I could find a list. I think somebody said you can. I'm curious how many videos I've disliked or what they are. I mean, sometimes I dislike videos that are directly shit talking me. You're not quirky. You're type 4 with a broken heart. When did your heart break, Octavio? Did you fall against a rock? What?
Me?
No, Octavia Silva.
Oh, can I get these?
Yes. Sure.
Thanks.
Okay, how much are they?
$199.
Of course, Rachel. Why are you asking me if you can guess something?
Because I don't know how much money I have in my.
Okay, all right. We'll deal with it later. Can we do it later?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Oh,
I'm good, actually.
It's like, what is this thing that you're buying? Like $500? No, it's $1.99. Okay.
It's Whisper of the Heart stickers.
Fantastic. That's exactly what we need too. So it's
Oh my gosh.
it is pretty important. Genexial. I've never seen any Genexial stuff. I just like faux intellectuals video essays that are scholastic chic garbage. That's worth disliking for sure, Chris Chapman. Ugh. So in other words, total failure to validate on your second slot makes you dislike. Maybe validation on your sixth slot makes you like, at least. But it sounds like for INTJs, maybe it's backwards. So I guess failure to validate on their sixth slot makes them dislike, whereas validation on their second slot makes them like. I don't know. Winston's mom, if a video helps you, like let's say you're needing to fix your sink and you want to Google you want to Google like how to fix your sink and it works, will you like that? Cor Asamre, I do the same thing. Can I get this? Him, why the fuck are you asking me? It's $1. Yeah, Rachel has a habit of asking me things like that. I think it's just sort of prevent defense with FE tool. Figure you err on the side of caution. You're not really worried about like me like stomping on your dignity at all. So,
No.
So instead, you're worried more about me later on going, Rachel, So you just play prevent defense as a heuristic, as sort of rule of thumb. You're gonna just ask every time, and then.
Oh, I'm so gassed.
I like it. It's consistent with your function set.
Thank you.
Our things are consistent with my theories about stuff.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That very phenomenon right there, it usually causes people to have confirmation bias, but I just have this sort of startled delight. Oh, good. I'm not wrong.
Aww.
You posted a question above. I did miss it. Was it how many bushels in a peck? I can never remember that either. Your Albanian hat video would be a good case study to answer your question. Oh, that's a good point, Rain. Albanian hat video must set some sort of record, right? For ratio of dislikes without actually being at all offensive. Eric, the expression you made last night about ESFP debating ENFP was priceless. I remember what I said. I don't remember what my expression was, but I said it's like wanting to see two orangutans perform Hamlet. Octavia Silva says, Eric, how can I get my ESFJ mom to confront her friend instead of repeatedly arguing with me about how she's mad at her friend? And you're saying, how do I get my mom to the NI spot that makes her SE? Well, that's not how you get her to SE. So, you're not going to get her to confront her friend instead of blah, blah, blah. You have to sort of trick her into confronting her friend and then enjoy the consequence of her not arguing with you about it anymore. Because she's never going to be NI led anywhere because she's NI polar. So Razor M hypothesizes that people dislike because they want to be noticed, since there's always more likes than dislikes. Razor M, that sounds like just isolated. That sentence sounds like something an FE polar person would say. Because people who are motivated by FE, it's like more complicated than that, I guess. Obviously, the YouTuber doesn't know who it is who's disliked. So that standing out would only be within your own frame of reference. So it wouldn't really, you wouldn't stand out in an FE sense. That's what makes me say that sentence sounds like an FE polar sentence. I'm not saying you're FE polar. I don't know what type you are at all. I'm just saying that sentence is instructive about how an FE polar person might misinterpret FE. Let's see what else is going on. Thank you for repeating my question, INTJ. Yeah, Winston's mom, come on, answer my question. God. See, now that's me being jokey for the FE polar people present. Okay, just to let you know. I was joking there. Things you got to say in case you got FE polar people present. 3rd and 6th slots determined to like or dislike for an INTJ that's coming from an INTJ. Okay, so 3rd and 6th. So what's the conscious FI reason to like? So okay, see, 6th slot FI is she's recognizing the other person's FI, which makes her want to use a tool function to satisfy that FI. What is it when it's in 3rd slot? You're just well, like probably like Winston's mom probably likes videos of channels she wants to support, I would guess. Is that the case? I mean, I don't think that's an FI question, really. I think an FI thing is I support my baby no matter what. She's, she may have had a bad game, but she's still the best basketball player in my mind. That's FI. So, I suspect that Winston's mom views each of my videos as part of a larger thing that she likes, and that she wants to support because she likes it. Whereas I feel there's no other YouTube channel that I like. That I mean, I jump around video to video from different topics, random shit. There's no other YouTube personality or something that I enjoy really listening to. I do kind of like Frank James. I like some of his stuff, but not enough that I go out of my way to watch it. Not as much as I like anime things that I go out of my way to watch, We knew about your cat. He bites and scratches 5-year-olds, but I support him no matter what. I approve of that, Octavia Silva. When it's between a cat and a 5-year-old, when it's my cat and someone else's 5-year-old, my cat wins. Is the fact that INTJs seem to have a better relation to SE than INFJs to do with irregularity in function definitions, or is there some other mechanism at work? No, it's consistent with function definitions. It's that INTJs are experiential in their tool function, experiential in their 3rd function, and experiential in their 4th function, whereas INFJs are only experiential in their 4th function. You can convert that experiential quality of the individual into more concretization or less concretization. So for INFJs, they're just as good at SE. If SE were basically, instead of chasing down prey, we're chasing down more information about me, news about me, whatever. So Rachel is much more keeps up much more with the random things that she's interested in on a regular basis than I ever keep up with anything, really. So I said to her the other day, or maybe it was today, that yesterday Meghan Markle had been accused of being abusive towards her underlings.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you already had heard about it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I read about it last night, actually.
So it's like most things that I think might be of mutual interest to bring up to her, she's already heard of before I bring it up to her.
But I love talking about it anyway.
Sure, yeah, we still have, I'm not saying we have poor conversations as a consequence, but she's, so in the sense that if you were to imagine INTJ and INFJ and talking about sort of physical prey versus intellectual prey, the INTJ is fundamentally more about concretization. So it's like they're going to end up having their extroverted sensing express in ways that are more concretized.
Yeah. When I went out with an INTJ, his advice was always to get a job.
I think Megan is a straight up country without the re. Okay? That's what I think about Megan. And I don't call very many people that. I'm not going to say it because I think YouTube might not like it, and everyone's got me all skittish now about YouTube's whatever. What does it mean to concretize something? Well, it's as simple as, like, I want to figure out cognitive functions in the sense that I want to be in possession of a completed and fully defensible case regarding it. Yes, she's a count. Exactly, Oliver. Exactly.
Megan Lavoda?
She's a count. She's a country without the re. That's a count.
Oh, I like that.
I think she's an incredibly self-absorbed, awful human being. No, she's not. She's being an awful partner. She needs to be understood as a human being first, not as some sort of freedom fighter for stupidity. And even if she is freedom fighting for stupidity, well, that's not a freedom fight. That's a stupid fight.
BRB.
All right, you BRB as much as you BRB want to. Yeah, Meghan Markle I'm talking about.
Oh, Meghan Markle.
Well, yeah. Yes, you knew that, Rachel.
I don't know why. Because that's how people spell it the same way.
Oh, you must have misspoke and said Megan Lavoda.
Yes, I did.
Okay. I didn't hear that.
That's my bad.
Yeah, we're not talking about Megan Lavoda. I do not think Megan Lavoda is a country without a re. I think that Meghan Markle is a country without a re. And I do not call many people that. You've really got to be a meow before I'm going to call you a meow. But I definitely call her that. And I would call her that out loud right now. I mean, I disagree with you. She's chosen to enter the royal family. That is a choice that is a bag of things you've chosen. To then freak out because there's green M&Ms in your bowl that you ordered, knowing full well there were going to be green M&Ms in the bowl. That is a circumstance in which you, Meghan Markle, can go fuck yourself. Yeah, Prince Harry's being a mega simp. I have to agree with Liz Trimmer right there. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You have got to get out from underneath the thumb of that. Country without a re. I hate that woman. I don't say that very often either. I really dislike her strongly. Okay?
I'm so glad that you say so, because I really think that there's some people that she fools and I don't get it.
I don't get it either. It's like she's almost like the dictionary picture under the word country without a re. This. Just like Joaquin Phoenix is the picture underneath the word gaff in the dictionary, right? Mm-hmm. Who could be any more gaff than Joaquin Phoenix with his FI foot stomping his little baby shit that's super annoying.
So super annoying. Do you remember that movie that he made? And he like grew out his hair and his beard, and it was like he was like trying to film himself as if he like lost his mind, but it just ended up being like an art project.
No, I don't remember that.
Oh my gosh. He was working with Casey Affleck on it, and it turned out just to be like he got people to think that he was like mentally like not well, and it turned out to be just like when people asked about it like years later, he was like, oh yeah, that was just an art piece. That's so gaff.
Yeah. I'll tell you who else is incredibly gaff. Lead singer of Smashing Pumpkins. That guy. Also in the dictionary under gaff. Okay.
He would get just like
Harry was clearly raised by somebody was raised in a family where a very domineering woman, this is my theory anyway, it's just a hypothesis, I shouldn't even call it a theory, where a very domineering woman successfully ran the show.
His grandma.
And so he's found another particularly, especially domineering woman, but Meghan Markle is no Queen Elizabeth? Is
Mm-hmm.
It's still Queen Elizabeth, huh?
Mm-hmm. Right?
For fuck's sake, how long is this woman going to be queen for? Meghan Markle is no Queen Elizabeth. I think we can all agree on that. I respect everybody's egalitarian instincts. Here in America, we are very egalitarian, and but the thing is, it's like I'm going to go a little beta quadra here and say there are genuine leaders who effectively lead and balance competing interests, as well as trying to adhere to some sort of principles. And there are, petulant countries without a re. And there's a big difference between the two. There's a massive, massive chasm between the two. Queen Elizabeth is much more towards this side of it, and Meghan Markle is all the way towards this side of it. So there's a real difference there.
Yeah.
During the lockdowns, sales of pants have gone down while sales of pajamas are skyrocketing. Do I have some work thing today? Oh, I do at 5 o'clock.
5?
That's not too soon.
No.
The thing is, I understand people's objection to the royals in general, and to aristocracy, and to England's weird England's royalty made the very smart decision to trade all of their political power in exchange for keeping all of their wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Because, of course, political power is fleeting, and wealth transcends generations if managed correctly. Eric, do you have advice on tackling word problems in math? Well, first of all, never tackle too close to the shoulder level. You run the risk of a spearing penalty, also called targeting. So don't lead with the head. That's just basic safety protocol. And, you always tackle through the word problem. Don't arm tackle. It's good advice. Good advice. Good advice. Good advice, Eric. Good advice. Yeah, but the thing is, the problem, Octavia Silva, is there are specific strategies to use for specific kinds of problems. There's no general rule, I can tell you. So it's like for process of elimination problems, use this kind of a grid making thing. I can tell you that. For I have the TE for like 5 or 6 sets of kinds of questions, but it's too big of a curricular undertaking to explain right now, basically. Thank you, Winston's mom, for linking that. I appreciate it. I'm here. I just want Prince Harry to know Rachel and I are here for him. If he's coming back to LA with Meghan, we're here to help talk him down from the ledge that we all call Meghan Markle. I'm here to school and shame the living fuck out of her if we're all in the same room together. And you can even stay back here for a couple of nights. That's it, a couple of nights. Then you got to go. But I will be here for you, Prince Harry, to help you transition out of that horrible, horrible marriage. How does TE Polar portray what? Portray the spirit of womanhood? How does TE Polar portray Napoleon at the Battle of Waterloo? Well, TV Silva, first you got to determine what kind of problem is it. Is it a kind of a process of elimination problem? Process of elimination problems are like Joe, Mary, and Sue went for a hike and they got separated. Each of them is in one of 3 locations. One is by the stream. One is in the old cave. And one of them is up a tall tree. Because they were able to run very fast and outran a bear that was chasing them and climbed up the tree. Now, we know that Bob is too slow to run away from a bear. And we know that Sue is terrified of caves and of stream beds. Where is each person? Well, that's a process of elimination question. Word problems about exponential equations, like the square of a trio of beavers is the square root of how many beaver pods, where a beaver pod equals 162? Is that the kind of question you're talking about? The square of a trio of beavers, I'll repeat the question. The square of a trio of beavers comprises the square root of how many pods of beavers, given that a pod of beavers is 162. No, 2 beaver pods. A pod is 81. One half of a beaver pod. A pod is 162, and you have 81 beavers. That's a half of a beaver pod. Wait, no, but yeah, right. Half of a beaver pod would be 9 is the square root of half a beaver pod. Oh, okay. Well, it has an exponent in it. What are exponential equations then? I don't know. You tell me. I'm not a math guy. Math is not that fun.
No, it's not. Not to me anyway.
It's called a colony, not a pod or a square. Okay. No, there's not 4 beavers in a pod. I told you there's 162 beavers in a pod. And that the square of a trio of beavers comprises the square root of how many pods of beavers, given that a pod of beavers is 162 beavers? The answer is half a pod. Obviously. God. This is the kind of thing we do all the time here in French Canada. There's so many beaver-related issues that we need that math. Math is about as interesting as hammers. Well, here's a math word problem that I made up that gives people fits. You go, Mary has 2 more pencils than she has fewer pencils than Bob has. And Bob has 8 pencils. How many pencils does Mary have? Oh, function x equals AB. What's that little up thing mean? Exponent times x minus c plus d, where a is the vertical stretch factor, b is the exponential ratio, c is the horizontal translation, and d is the vertical translation. So what are you supposed to figure out? What the function is? I mean, how do you even answer that kind of question? I have no idea. How do you describe the function? And what's the math of describing a function? Is it that? Then so that's a solved, that's a completed equation, or is that one you have to solve still? Like that's 12 grams G of a chemical are added to a metal. The amount A in grams of the chemical remaining during a reaction with the metal plate decreases by 0.5 grams per second. Okay, so like how many seconds? Well, if it decreases by 0.5 grams per second, it's not half-life. Then it doesn't operate by a half-life mechanics, but because that half-lives don't work like that. But we want to get x all on one side of the equal, right? Well, but there's that's linear. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It decreased by half of itself every 4 seconds. Well, that's not what she said. She said it decreases by 5.5 grams per second. She doesn't say it decreases by half every second. She didn't say that. She didn't say decrease by half of itself. She said it decreased by a specific amount per second. That's not half-lifey. That's full lifey. Oh, it said in her first statement? Okay, my bad. I think I'm about ready to wrap this stream up. Feels like an appropriate ending. Oh, wait, hold on. There's an inkety-pinkety.
Yeah.
Musical composition that was forged in the meaning of 2 continents. It's let me see. Inkety, pinkety. So it's 3-3. Okay, so a symphony. I'm sure the scientific word the rhyme is symphony for the meaning of 2 consonants for the symphony is 3, right? Or is it inkekety? Is it 3 or 4?
Oliver Linehan has a guess.
Oh.
Oh, that's not it, Grogu? That's the it's 3-3. That's not the answer.
Leaf trimmer, it turns out the answer is no. No matter how hard you try to get people to do that, they never do. That's what it turns out. I spend so much time trying to get exactly my clients to do that. Instead of hiring me, why don't you attack your teachers with your words, with your words. Attack their wrongnesses instead of going along with it and trying to, I'm not one to use the word, but, simp out, basically,
What does that mean again? What is
simp? It means I'll always scramble when you snap, basically. Like, that's why I feel like Jeffrey's doing that with his schoolwork. His mom is insisting that he needs to try to, the reason he's having problems is because he hasn't figured out what kind of dance exactly she wants him to do when she snaps. And I'm saying that the problem is not that, rather that you haven't taught her that snapping at me is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Make her incur the natural and awful consequences of being, irresponsibly wrong in the way that she is. And those are easily delivered because she has to, in fact, assign you a bunch of opportunities to slam the living hell out of her in the most scholarly, polite, officious, and what's that word? Like beyond reproachable fashion. So it's like that's how you corner a teacher, because you know what their job responsibilities are, and you know what kind of arguments they're subject to as a consequence. Instead, they keep wanting to try to learn to dance to her tune better. Do not do that if you want to have any success. But if you're an interface type first, as a mom, and you're anti-polar, like his mom, you just cannot get through it.
Enneagram as well, like. She wants to please.
What's a 3-syllable word for fault line? A subduction conduction. A subduction conduction. Like a conductor does a conduction. I don't know if a conductor really does a conduction, though.
There.
I think we could say that they do. After the conductor was done conducing, he had attained a conduction. That's a good job, Gen Xio.
Yeah,
Cheers.
it is.
Collision composition. That's 3-4. No, this is a burrito. Okay. I'm done being neato with my burrito. I don't know what the answer to your thing is.
It's a red vine, actually, leaf trimmer.
But for anyone who hasn't heard it yet, who's here, I will share with you my riddle. Probably, it's the third time I've said it, so probably most of you have heard it. But What is both a dwelling and a cheese? Well, it's a red vine. If you already know the answer, I'm going to say it, but if you've never heard the riddle before, it's what's known as a real brain twister. And before I go, I just have to say, I'm really impressed with Will Ferrell's acting chops. Yes, Cottage Rain.
He has one of my favorite viral videos. Remember when do you remember the viral video of him with landlord Rosie or something? And it's like a little baby like girl who plays the landlord.
What is that?
Oh my gosh.
And what?
Will Ferrell, it's called like he needs to pay the landlord. And the landlord ends up being like this like 2-year-old girl.
Is that one of his movies or
no, it's on Funny or Die.
I haven't seen it. I'll check it out.
Okay.
But yeah, his acting is really good. Like, if you've ever seen The House, it's a Saturday Night Live thing that he did just a couple of years ago. Like, it's probably like a guest host or something.
Oh my gosh. That was a funny one.
He does such a perfect job of being one of those reality show actors who's been like line coach to say their lines a certain way or something, and he goes. But I had expected that we were going to the theater, but what was in store? Drama. You know, like
yeah, that's
he's really, really good.
He really is.
And I'm sure it's incredibly frustrating for him, and I'm sure frustrating for the audience. And did no bullshit.
Yeah, the landlord. That's it.
No bullshit. Learn anything? No. Right? Did you learn anything at all? No, not a goddamn thing. Right? I'm talking about the movie The House. I'm talking about an SNL skit called The House. It's only a few minutes long. It's well, basically the plot of it is 3 guys go to see a movie, and at first 2 of the guys think they're going to see it at home, and the other guy thinks they're going to see it at the theater, and it
drama ensues.
Yeah, the thing that the most important thing I'm talking about though about it is. It really shows how nuanced his acting chops are. I think I've started to be more aware of that in recent years than I used to be. Like, pay attention to how effective an actor is more and why and stuff. He also did an incredible job with the character of Gus Chiggins, the old prospector, in this SNL skit, which is a horrible skit, except he's just brilliant. Just so in character. So he's the opposite of Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon is the failure of FI in the inclusion of FI in comedy. It's like, no, Jimmy Fallon, we don't want we don't want you to put yourself in our shoes as the audience member and laugh at your own jokes.
I know, he's known for that.
We don't want you to break character. That is every once in a while. It's like every once in a while you get an authentic, funny blooper or something. But if you're consistently making blooper reels, then you're not doing a good job, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that sort of breaking character thing is kind of a blooper reel thing. He's misunderstood as Jimmy Fallon is misunderstood as a way to sort of FI himself into the shoes of the audience because he's an ENFP.
He's a really good example of an ENFP, I think.
David Simpson, you can't think abstract thinking is dumb. You can only feel it with your words. You know?
Yeah.
You gotta feel that abstract thinking is dumb with your words. Intellectual powerhouse. No bullshit. Debate debacle's number one. Okay. I got a couple things I got to click here, actually. So I'm going to open them in new tabs. Yeah. And this one. And okay, I'll see you all later.